Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Newcomers Mike Williams and Preston Smith are excited to start fresh with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Williams was asleep. At least, he thought he was. The experienced wide receiver was trying to take a nap on Tuesday when something kept disturbing him. His phone, which kept buzzing, showed 5 missed calls from his agent. "I thought I was dreaming," Williams said. In a way, he was. Instead of spending the rest of the season trying to figure out his role, or if he even had one, with the struggling New York Jets, Williams will now be in Pittsburgh, trying to help the Steelers, who lead the AFC North, make the playoffs and win their first playoff game in years. "There are worse places to end up. I'm looking forward to the opportunity," Williams said. "I'm a playmaker. I make plays. Just not enough of them in New York." Williams, who signed a 1-year, $10 million contract with the Jets in the spring, only had 12 catches for 166 yards in 9 games with the Jets and didn't score a touchdown. When the Jets traded for Davante Adams last month, Williams found himself falling down the depth chart. That may not be a problem in Pittsburgh, where the Steelers, 6-2, have been looking for another deep threat to line up opposite George Pickens. Williams, 30, believes he still has that extra speed a year after recovering from a torn ACL. His recovery caused him to miss important time during organized team activities and training camp, which Williams thinks led to a lack of chemistry and a lack of production with Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers. Still, Williams said his time with the Jets was cool and he's excited for a fresh start with a team that has a lot to play for in the second half of the season. Williams spent part of his first practice with the Pittsburgh Steelers on Wednesday working with the starting unit, and there's a good chance he will be on the field Sunday when the Steelers play Washington. But Williams isn't rushing things. Since tearing the ACL in his left knee in September 2023 while playing for the Los Angeles Chargers, he has made it a point to be where my feet are. Los Angeles let him leave in free agency, and while he had planned to visit the Steelers, his first stop was in New York. The Jets didn't let him leave before he signed a contract, which didn't end up working out. 8 months later, Williams arrived in Pittsburgh, where he joins an offense that seems to be finding its rhythm with Russell Wilson. Wilson, a 9-time Pro Bowler, is 2-0 since taking over as the starter in Week 7, including a win over Williams and the Jets. We're making noise around the league," Williams said. "I'm excited to join these guys and be a positive influence on everything." He's not the only new addition. The Steelers also traded for edge rusher Preston Smith from Green Bay on Tuesday, but under different circumstances. Steelers bring back TE for 3rd time this year. The Pittsburgh Steelers were busy at the NFL trade deadline. In the 24 hours since, they've remained busy, making additions to their practice squad. On November 6, the Steelers announced signing tight end Matt Sokol. He will join the team's practice squad, along with defensive tackle Dominique Davis. This is the 3rd time the Steelers are signing Sokol this year. The team first added Sokol to their roster prior to the preseason on July 30. The Steelers released him on roster cutdown day. Sokol returned, signing with the Steelers practice squad on September 18. The team released him again less than a week later. November 6 marked the first time Davis signed with the Steelers. Davis had previously spent his entire NFL career with the Cincinnati Bengals. Since entering the league as an undrafted free agent in 2019, Sokol has spent time with 5 different organizations, including Pittsburgh. He began his career as an undrafted free agent for the Los Angeles Chargers. Sokol didn't make the team at the end of the preseason but spent the early part of his rookie year on the Chargers practice squad. He finished his rookie season on the Jacksonville Jaguars practice squad. Sokol then started the 2020 campaign with the Detroit Lions. However, he returned to the Chargers to make his NFL debut on December 27, 2020. In 2 games with the Chargers that season, Sokol played 15 offensive snaps and 20 snaps on special teams. His next opportunity to play in an NFL regular season game came with the New England Patriots in 2022. He dressed for 3 contests in New England during both the 2022 and 2023 seasons. Over those 2 seasons, the Patriots waived Sokol numerous times. But technically, he only had 1 stint with New England because he never signed with another team in between his releases. It's been a similar story for Sokol with the Steelers. Pittsburgh is the only organization who has signed him since July. Although he's back with the team for a 3rd time, he's technically had 1 stint with Pittsburgh. During his 3 years in the NFL, Sokol has experienced 2 stints with the Chargers, Jaguars, and Lions. Sokol has not recorded a target or tackle in 8 NFL regular season games. He started 1 contest for the Patriots in 2023. Steelers Now's Alan Saunders reported on November 5 that the Steelers were adding Davis to their practice squad. The team made that signing official when it also announced it was bringing back Sokol. Davis played 2 games for the Bengals during the 2022 season. He posted 3 combined tackles while playing 38 defensive snaps and 3 snaps on special teams. The Bengals signed Davis as an undrafted free agent in 2022. Cincinnati cut him at the end of the preseason but then signed Davis to the team's practice squad. He played as a practice squad elevation during the 2022 season. This year, the Bengals elevated Davis from the practice squad on September 23, but he didn't appear in Week 3. The Bengals waived Davis on October 22. Sokol is the only tight end the Steelers currently have on their practice squad. At defensive tackle, Davis is joining Braden Fehoko and Jacob Slade on the squad. Jets' Aaron Rodgers reacts live to Mike Williams, Steelers trade. New York Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers was in the middle of his weekly The Pat McAfee Show appearance when it was learned the club was sending veteran wide receiver Mike Williams to the Pittsburgh Steelers in return for a 2025 fifth-round draft pick ahead of Tuesday's trade deadline. Rodgers reacted to the news and offered praise for who is now his former teammate during the live on-air segment. "Mike's a quiet guy, just kind of goes about his business," Rodgers said, as shared by Bridget Hyland of NJ Advance Media for NJ.com. "Mike had a rough injury last year, ACL, that's tough to come back from. He worked his off all offseason, wasn't around for a lot of training camp, he was working on the side. But I felt like he was getting better in the earlier part of the season, felt like his speed was getting better." Rodgers, who essentially missed the entire 2023 season because of a torn Achilles, failed to build chemistry with Williams during the ongoing campaign as the Jets lost 6 of 9 games. In total, Williams recorded just 12 catches for 166 yards with 0 touchdowns during his Jets tenure, which mostly will be remembered for Rodgers publicly criticizing the 30-year-old over a route that Williams allegedly ran incorrectly during New York's Week 6 loss to the Buffalo Bills. That moment proved to be the beginning of the end of Williams' time with the Jets. Gang Green subsequently acquired star receiver Davante Adams from the Las Vegas Raiders, and that deal seemingly made Williams surplus to requirements for New York even though the club will be without Allen Lazard for at least the next 3 games because of a chest injury. Per ESPN's Rich Cimini, Lazard could return to the lineup for New York's Week 14 matchup against the Miami Dolphins on December 8. A healthy Lazard had been New York's number 3 receiver, behind Adams and Garrett Wilson. "Mike's a good guy," Rodgers told McAfee. "He'll be good in that locker room. Obviously a lot of great veteran leadership, he's had a nice career. And sometimes, change of scenery is great for certain guys." Shortly after outlets reported the Williams trade, DraftKings Sportsbook listed the 3-6 Jets as 1-point underdogs for this coming Sunday's game at the 5-4 Arizona Cardinals. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Aaron Rodgers? Leave your opinion in the comments.